Rosberg behind Hamilton. On the Kemmel Straight, gets into the slipstream, pretty much like Vettel, but a little bit later. Lewis defends the inside, rightly so. And at this point here, I'm going to slow it down. We haven't seen this in slow-mo yet. We see one move to the outside before that contact. Slow it down even further. So he's turning in, and he sees he's close, moves out, and turns in again. And it's at that point there we see the front wing collect the rear tyre. The bodywork goes flying. We lose a lot of downforce in our car. Lewis obviously fighting for all it's worth around the next corner, off into the gravel. We got another shot from behind Lewis Hamilton's car on the run-up. This makes it look even more clumsy from Nico Rosberg. Totally agree so far, by the way, with all of the comments from everybody else involved in our team here at Sky Sports F1. You can see once again that kind of clumsy movement by Rosberg. He's hovering. He's not really in a position where you can attack the car in front. But I think the best view that we have is using our virtual eye technology. On the run-up again, we're going to go to the virtual as soon as we get to that moment. And it's at this point here where the rules say you've got to have a significant part of the car alongside for the driver that's defending to allow a chance of an overtake. There's not a significant part of the car alongside. He was never in a position where he was actually going to mount a challenge. All we're looking at here is clumsy racing from an experienced guy. If we just stop it on this, it's clear to see here that you can't see the front wing in these cars, and that's when experience does come into it. I'm just going to stop it there and say, in this situation, if we were looking at a Kevin Magnussen, a Danny Kvyat, or next year a Max Verstappen, if this kind of incident happened, they would be hammered for what they did. And this is a very inexperienced, typical move that you're looking at from Nico Rosberg. It's just, we say the word again, it's just clumsy. You can see Lewis Hamilton looking in the mirror. You can barely see the car. He's on the normal racing line. We're going to draw that on now as well, just to show this racing line obviously comes from the simulations and laps done by other cars in real time. And Rosberg is in this kind of area where he's in this kind of pinch zone here. He knows that if he's in that area, you have to back out of it if you're in this position. So he's not actually going for a move at all at that stage. So it's fair to say he knew he wasn't going for an overtake, and I can understand why everybody's completely unhappy with the move. So we saw the damage on Lewis's car as he exited the pits, and that's the reason why he retired. I'll just stop it there and wind it back. I know Ted's just shown it, but we've got a slightly different view. Use the magnifying tool to show that the extent of the damage of that floor, and you're losing heaps of downforce. When you finally tuned your car so carefully through the weekend, and you get a significant part of damage like that, you know, it's going to heavily reduce your speed and balance of the car. And that was the moment. I mean, who would have thought from that subtle bit of that tiny mistake from an experienced driver, it results in this? I mean, you can see why the bosses are unhappy and why things will have to be said and cleared up. But I do feel sorry for him. He shouldn't be booed. This is all part of the game. We should enjoy our racing, and without team orders, it allows us to enjoy the racing. So keep on booing him. Guess what's going to happen? We're going to get team orders. So it was just a racing incident.